Seventh grade pre-AP. I am trying to convince you to learn this stuff. Whoa. No, I'm just joking. Alright, but seriously, properties of numbers is something everybody forgets because they can't pronounce words most of the time and because it's a lot of information so fast. But you've got to know it by name. So let's start here. This is probably going to be a really long video, so there might be a part 2. I'll let you know at the end of the video. Alright, commutative property. Commutative property basically deals with adding and multiplying. So that's pretty much it. Basically means that we can put the numbers in different orders and we get the same thing. So like here, when we're talking about 7 plus 12, that's the same thing as saying 12 plus 7. We can rearrange the numbers. That's commutative property. 7 times 12 is the same thing as saying 12 times 7. It doesn't matter which order they're in. So that's called commutative property. Now, something I need to explain real fast. This is arithmetic or arithmetic. And what it means is basically we're just using numbers and operations. This over here is algebra or algebraic way of doing things. And it's using letters or symbols, variables, and operations. Alright, so there's two different forms. You have to know both. So over here we have numbers representing that you can put them in different orders, and over here we have letters representing that you can put them in different order. Commutative property is probably one of the easiest ones to remember because you use it so much. It just means you can put the numbers in different orders. Now, associative property is one that people forget. Associative property, you see the difference between the two? The numbers stay at their right spots. They stay the same. The only thing that moves are these parentheses. So this is saying that it doesn't matter where you put the parentheses, this stays the same. Same thing with multiplication. Now if you try to do this with division, or you try to do this with subtraction, it's going to mess things up. So you have to make sure that it's addition and multiplication. Now over here is dealing with number or letters. So make sure you write this down because we will refer to it in our notes. The identity basically means it's something that you can do something to a number and you get that number back. So when you're adding, if I can add 0 to a number, does it really change the number? No, we get the number back. So like this, 6 plus 0 is the same thing as 0 plus 6, which is 6. This looks like the commutative property because it is. We're just showing you it's the same thing. 6 times 1, when you're multiplying, will give you 6 back. So the identity property for adding is 0, and the identity property for multiplying is 1. Distributive property. This is key. You must know this. This is how the distributive property looks. If I do 3 times 2 plus 7, when we do PEMDAS, which we talked about PEMDAS yesterday, is we do the inside of the parentheses first, which is 2 plus 7, which is what? Yeah, it's 9. 3 times 9 is 27. Well, what the distributive property is allowing you to do is it's allowing you to go ahead and multiply the 3 before we do the inside of the parentheses. So we do 3 times 2, we have to multiply it to the first number, and then 3 times 7, so you're multiplying it to the second number. When you do that, you're distributing the 3 to each number on the inside of the parentheses. That's why it's called distributing. You're doing 3 times 2 and then 3 times 7, which is 6 plus 21. That's not 21. Wow. 21, which is equals 27, which is what I said before. You see how it works? Distributive property is a really important property. Now here, you see it the same way. You got 2 plus 7 times 3. It doesn't matter if the 3 is at the back. If it's against its parentheses, you can distribute it to the 2 and 3, to the 2 and the 7. Everything on the inside must be multiplied by that 3. And here's the algebraic. All right. Now, distributive property is really important to us in 7th grade pre-AP because it helps us get things done faster. Also, it's really important algebra because it helps us solve problems easier. So, our whole goal is to make things easier in math with these properties. So, in other words, like this. If I were to take like 2 plus 4 minus, or plus 15 plus 5, I would look at this and know that I can rearrange this. I can actually write it 4 plus 2 plus 15 plus 5, or I could write it 4 plus 2 plus 5 plus 15. The idea is that I can do it in any order I want to. It's all addition, so it doesn't matter which order I put it in. So, what I would do if I was solving this in my head using mental math, which you're going to have to do in class, is I would rearrange it to where I'm doing 15 plus 5 first. And that's just me because I know 5 plus 15 gives me 20. And then I would do 2 plus 4, which is 6, because 2 plus 4 is 6. And then I would add them, and I get 26. So I use mental math, and I use a commutative property to make it easier for me. So let's do another one with multiplication. All right, here. Because of the commutative property, I know that I can rearrange this however I want to. So in my mind, I would make it a lot easier if I did 10 times 160, which is times 2, which is 320. And then times 5. Which is 1600. Now it was still kind of complicated, but I did it a lot faster. Now some of y'all were like, hey, you know what? I know what 16 times 2 is. It's 32. And it's going to be real easy for me to multiply that by 5 first. And then multiply it by 10. So it adds a 0 at the end. It doesn't matter. What you're doing is you're trying to make it easy by using the property of commutative property. You're rearranging it. Now you only can do that on plus and multiply. Don't forget to follow the rules of PEMDAS when you're doing all these. Alright, I'll see y'all in class tomorrow. Actually, tomorrow is going to be Friday. No, wait, tomorrow is Thursday. So I'll see you in class tomorrow and we'll go over this in class. The end. Yay!